Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This week we are looking at the alien embryo, and then we're going to get into the chestburster. The embryo itself, because it is actually ingested into the human or whatever other alien being that we have, or heavens forbid you're putting this, like I mentioned last week, into a more fantasy setting, whatever other creature may happen to wonder by. Okay, it just is what it is. We have a dexterity of 0, perception of 1D, strength of 1D, and it has a move of 1. I don't know how it's really moving, but anyways, you get the idea. It has a size of zero point 0.1 to zero point 0.5 meters long. Um, as it kind of grows, it does kind of devour the inside of the person, going from there. All right, it again has acid blood, um, which has the special rules of roll grenade, scatter for splatter, and it does 60 damage. It has a parasitic link with the host, so the embryo develops by stealing genetic materials from the host, and so its growth is dependent completely upon the host. Once the face hugger has been detached, the host may experience various symptoms of the embryo's presence: intense hunger, minor chest pain, and difficulty breathing. Alien adults and queens can detect the incubation or incubating embryo by pheromone changes in the host and will not attack them. As we had seen in shoot, and I forget which movie it was when Ripley was on that uh, prison planet. Okay, there's a monster in your chest. These guys hijacked your ship and they sold your cryotube to this human and put an alien inside of you. It's a really nasty one. And in a few hours, it's going to burst its way through your rib cage and you're going to die. Any questions? Ripley from Alien Resurrection. Okay. So, very little is known about the alien embryo, primarily because it is such a small stage of the alien development and spends relatively little time inside the host. The embryo grows from the zygote planted deep inside the throat or breathing orifice of the host by the face hugger. In humanoids, it later migrates to the host's chest or upper abdominal area, if I can only speak correctly. At this time, the embryo absorbs genetic materials from the host to allow it to grow and develop. Growth period from the embryo to chest burster phase is usually more than a few hours. The embryo is vulnerable during this period and survives by growing quickly and quietly over unknown or often unknown by its host. Severe taxation of the host's strength and endurance, among other bodily processes, will slow the growth of the embryo and hold off the chest burster phase temporarily. Okay, with that, let's get into our chest burster and see what our wonderful little next stage is. All right, the chest burster itself has a dexterity of 2D and a dodge of 5D plus 1. We also get a perception of 4D and a height of 70. Strength is 2D, but climbing and jumping is a 4D plus 1. Our movement speed is now a 12, so it's a fast little bugger. Size is zero point 0.5 meters. Special abilities. Now, again, we're with that acid blood. See special rules. Again, it's going to be that rolling for grenade splatter for damage of 6D. And then we have atmosphere independent. The chest burster can survive underwater or in space without danger of suffocation for an unknown period of time. Now, the bite size, the strength plus 2D damage, invisible to infrared. The creatures are indetectable through the use of infrared vision or similar scanning devices. We have natural camouflage. The creatures adapt their coloration to their environment, and they blend well into both organic and constructed environments. Plus 2D to hide skill in most conditions as long as the creature remains still. Now we have pheromone communication, communicates uh, primitively through the use of pheromones. These pheromones can be used to indicate the location of potential prey or hosts, emotional state, development stage, and hive affiliation. We have radar sense. They can see, technically, through the form of ultrasonic echolocations that allows them to perceive shape and movement, no penalties for darkness or smoke. Now, we got a wonderful defense mechanism. You don't dare kill it. Parker from the first Alien movie. All right. So the title Chestburster comes from the fact that this organism's first action is to violently tear its way out of the victim's upper abdominal cavity, or wherever it might have migrated to in the host's body. The chest burster is the final stage of a full grown embryo. Once it has broken out of the host's body, it is ready to begin the final growth period of an adult alien or alien queen. Data available on chest bursters suggests that it requires no substance whatsoever to grow into an adult from this stage. This may not be accurate because there are occasions where an adult alien will kill what would otherwise be a potential host, either in defense of territory or as a resource of food. Um, the chestburster phase may take on whatever substance it can find as a scavenger, and chestbursters will avoid contact during its growth period as a natural instinct to avoid predators. A chestburster is initially about 18 inches to 2 feet in length and usually possesses only a head, forearms, and long tail on which it slithers like a serpent. This may vary based on genetic materials of the host. Like the embryo, the phase growth is also very short since the chestburster matures to adult size in 12 to 24 hours. The creature sheds its skin periodically during the growth period. Now, because of the inclusion of Alien versus Predator and so on and so forth, we do note that the alien will change whether it's being grown in a human host, a predator host, or what have you. So, in that regard, whether a cat was a host or a pig or God only knows what, it may vary a little bit in its overall size and shape. So, seeing that we're used to seeing it as a horror film with humans, uh, use your imagination for whatever else you kind of come across. This is an interesting concept to throw it in, because if we throw it into a Star Wars and heavens forbid it happens to hit a Mon Calamari, what is it going to look like when it comes out? God only knows, right? Um, so it's just that whole interesting set of how you want it to look. Have fun with it. That's the whole purpose of doing this. And we have two more videos to go through. So we have 2 more weeks. We're going to get the adult next week, and then we'll get the queen the week after. It's just a lot of fun. Again, let me say that I will make sure that I put the link for this onto our video here, so that way we have that. All right. With that, thank you so very much for joining me today. It's wonderful having you here. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you in the next video.